All right, hey everybody. Starting up the broadcast here. We'll actually get kicked off in a couple of minutes. So till then, let's wait till folks start showing up here. This time we're trying out a different time. As you can tell, it's only 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. where I'm at. Just want to see what type of response we get at this time of the day. All right, yeah, some people showing up. Hey everybody, welcome to our webinar here. My name is Taylor Chu, co-founder of SQL Prep, and I'm looking forward to talk to you today about the exists keyword. So go ahead in the comments, and if you can't hear me too well, feel free to mention that. All right, look, we've got some comments already. Okay, Shavana is looking forward to learning about exists. Palau, I guess that's how you say your name. Smiley face, very good. Okay, so let's get going here. Just one thing to check. Okay, here we go. So first thing, obviously you must be on the link here for the webinar if you're watching in. A couple things to note. First is for the worksheet for y'all that showed up live here, which I congratulate you on. Go ahead, if you scroll down underneath the webinar, and this is assuming you're looking at it on our website as opposed to directly on YouTube. But if you're looking at it on our website, then you'll see the worksheet below the chat box there. Okay, and let me go ahead and share my screen so that you can see me, or at least so you can see what I am showing you here. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen now. Let me know if you can't see that. But this is the page that our webinar is on. So webinar -exists-keyword, and here is the chat, and then here is the worksheet. So if you want to go ahead and download this, just right-click it, save image as, and go ahead and save the image there. And then you can have that for future reference, because this is what we will be going over. Okay, so that said, let me stop sharing my screen here. And we're back to my lovely face again. Okay, so the exists keyword, what is it? Why would you use it? When would you not use it? So the exists keyword goes in your where clause, and it'll look something like where exists, and then something. And that bit after that is going to be in a subquery, okay? And exists can often be pretty similar to a join. And so we'll go over how that is first, how it would be a little bit different, and when you'd want to use exists versus using the joins keyword, joins clause, I guess, in this case. So let me share my screen again, and we'll start going over some examples here. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen one more time. And let's come over here to the sandbox. And if you want, you can even open up the sandbox on your computer, follow along that way. But let me go ahead and, oops, not that. There we go. Go full screen here. So I'm going to work with the retailer database here, just FYI, so you can switch that if you need to on your end. So exists is good for seeing if something exists. All right, so say, for example, let's show the schema here. We want to see all customers who have ever made an order. All right, so there's a couple ways to do this here. First, let's do it with a join. So say we want to see customer name, and it's from our customers table. We only want to see it if they've ever made an order. One easy way to do that is to go ahead and join it to orders, O, and then we join it on O.customer number equals C.customer number. And there you go. And if you ran this, take a little while, we'll see. Oh, okay, not too bad because of the number of times. And of course, we're seeing multiples because since we joined it, every single order they made will make a new row for each customer. So we could just do distinct. And now we get a list once per each customer that has made an order. All right, pretty simple. Now, another way that you can do it, though, is with our exists keyword. So let me show you how to do that then why you would do this instead of a join, and then we can just go from there. Okay, so we've got select distinct customer name from customers, and instead of doing a join, we'll say where exists, okay? And now we'll have a subquery, and inside this subquery, we'll say select, and we'll just say star for now. I'll get into that in a second, why it's star or what you would use in this case. But let's just say select star from orders O. Okay, and instead of doing a join, we're going to do it in the where clause to link together our customers table here with our orders table here. We'll say where O.customer number equals C.customer number. Okay, so it'll be just like this. So we're going to select the customer name from customers where there exists an order where the customer number is the same customer number that we're looking at in the outer query. All right, let's execute this. Let's run it. And you probably didn't memorize the full list of customers from the last query. Neither did I, but it is the same list. Okay, so it's done the same way as the join that we just went over. And so what's happening here, once again, is we use this exists keyword, and it's saying whenever we get something back from this that's true, where there's something in the orders table with the matching customer number, then we're going to return true. And then once that returns true in the where clause, then we're going to display that customer name accordingly. Okay, so when you do exists, it's literally just saying, okay, whatever follows the exists, is it true or is it false? If it's true, then I'm going to display whatever it was that I have here in the select clause. If it's false, then I'm not going to. All right, so that's how the exist keyword works. I'm going to pop out of full screen here, see if there's any other questions. Oh, okay, Molly, not hearing anything, but it's running now. Okay, great. Yeah, let me know if you all have any questions. Pop them there in the chat, and I can check on occasion to see what's going on there. So back to this here. Why would you do this with the exist keyword instead of just using the join that we did in the first place? Okay, well, to be honest, if you are working with small data sets, I mean, especially in this case, we're talking like 1,000 rows maybe in our tables, then honestly, it probably really doesn't matter whether you use a join or an exist keyword. But if you're dealing with large data sets, you know, millions of rows, I mean, certainly billions of rows would fall into this category, then using the exist keyword will be quicker than using the join keyword. When I say quicker, I mean that when the computer is actually running your SQL query, it will get the results back to you quicker. Now, the reason for that is because this exist keyword, or let me back up with that. The reason for it is because when you do a join, as you saw before we added this distinct here, it was grabbing and making a row for each customer in order combination. Okay, so if customer A had made 10 orders, you're going to get 10 different rows, and then all the different columns, everything else is going to display. And so if you have a million rows in your table to start with, and then you're joining it like that, you could be creating millions and millions of rows, maybe even billions of rows, which is going to take a long time to display that information. Whereas when you use the exist keyword, exist is purely just determining whether something is true or false. It's not actually returning any information. Okay, so now what that means here, just a second. Okay, yeah. So what that means here is that we're not actually grabbing any information from the orders table. We're not grabbing our order number column or order date column or status column or anything like that. We're just purely saying if the customer number matches and it exists, then that's it. We don't need anything else from the orders table. Now we can grab what we need from the customers table. So that is why it's faster than using a join. Once again, if you're dealing with small data sets, it's not going to make that much of a difference. If you are dealing with large data sets, it will start to make a difference to use exists like this. Okay, the other reason that you could use an exists versus a join is just, I mean, it's just more efficient, right? It goes back to the time thing, but essentially, since we don't need any information from our second table here, in this case, the orders table, then might as well not pull it, right? So that's why we do the exists instead of the join. All right, so once again, you could do the join. At the very least, though, I want you to be able to look at this, know how to use the exists, and then when you're reading SQL written by other people, then you can have an idea of why they're doing it that way, and then you can see, oh, you know, I can do that with a join too. You know what's going on, right? Okay, so with that said, let me check if there's any questions. Then we'll do another example here. Can I use a CTE in an exists clause? You know, that's a good question. You know, I think I actually haven't ever tried that. I think you can. Let's see here. You know what? Let's just test it and see. No, yeah, you know what? No, I don't think it's going to work. No, I don't believe you can use a CTE. I will check on that to see, make sure that's the case. But I believe you're going to have to do it. Well, for sure, you're going to have a subquery here. And then I guess the question could be, could you make this table here a table created from a CTE? Possibly. I don't think you can, but I will check and see on that one. How good is exist compared to join? So it is a little bit better. It's pretty small difference, though, to be honest. Okay. MS SQL requires a colon before each CTE. That is true. Yes. Okay, great. So let's move along here to another example. So in this one, now let's see, let's grab all customers. No, we've done the orders one. Okay, customers who have made payments. Okay, so now let's find all customers who have made a payment before. Okay, so similar type of thing. We're going to select, we'll just select star from customers. See where exists. Okay, and then it'll be select star from payments, P. Let me give it the alias here because what we're about to do. Go ahead and think of what we have to do here. We're going to add in our where clause, c.customer number, once again, equals p.customer number. And so the columns here they're going to be using are just the same foreign key, primary key combo that you'd use in a normal join. All right, so now let's run this, and there we go. So now we're finding all customers and all the information for the customers where there exists a payment row for that customer number. And so there you go. That's all those. That's pretty simple. Let's start to get a hang of it here. So we'll do one more example and then move on to the second principle that I want to show you for today. So this one's will be a little more tricky. We're going to see offices who have customers in the same city as the office itself. Okay, so we've got our offices table here in the city, and then customers, and then their city. So we want to see the offices that have customers in the same city between the two. And of course, we're going to have to involve the employees table here since that's the link between our customers table and our offices table. So let's go ahead here. Oops. Let's see. Great. Let's get that going here. So we want to see city. Let's put office code here too. Select office code and city from offices. All right, and let's put that a little bit here. From offices O, where exists. And so then now inside our exists here, we want to find customers with the same city, right? First, we've got to link it with our, first we've got to link it with our employees table first though. Okay, so select star from, I'll put this down on the next line so it's a little clearer this time. From employees E, oops. Okay, and inside our subquery here, we're going to go ahead and join to customers C on C.salesRepEmployee number equals E.employee number. Okay, and now we can do our where C.city equals O.city. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you here. we had to do a join inside our subquery here so that we could even get to our customers table. There we go. Let's see. Oh, and that's one more thing we've got to do here. Oh, yep. Where c.city equals o.city and e.office code equals o.office code. Okay, so we've got to go ahead and link together our employees table to our offices table so that we can then link our customers to employees and have these cities be referencing the same thing. Okay, so when we do that, we see that 5 of, I think there were 7 offices altogether, have customers in the same city. So San Francisco has customers that are based in San Francisco, as you might suspect. Okay, so that's how one like that might look. Once again, yeah, you could just join offices to employees to customers, all 3 together, and then that would get you along the right lines. But this is definitely the most efficient way to go about it. Okay, so that said here, let's come back out here and let's take a look. And another question, can I use exists in the select part of a query, like in a case construction? No, so it's just going to be in your where clause that you can use the exists keyword. Now, granted, of course, you can put subqueries in a lot of different places that you could use and exists inside of, but it's going to be in your where clause that it happens. Okay, so scrolling down here, we went over this first item, exists first join. Now we're going to go over this one. This will be a quick one. And essentially, it doesn't matter what you select in the exists subquery. You can select 1 star or a specific column. Okay, so what I mean by that, let's come back to the example we're just looking at here. Oh, I selected star right here. Remember, it doesn't really matter that it's star because I'm not actually selecting all those columns because this is just returning true or false, right? So I'm actually grabbing any of that data. But I could just as easily select 1. Okay, now that probably seems really weird. Why do you select a 1? And that's just sort of the default that people have set up as one way that you can put your select for an exists subquery. I mean, you could do 2 for crying out loud. You could do anything. You could say hello. Actually, okay, you can't say hello, but you could say any of these numbers, yeah. And then you could also select a specific column too. You could say country, and that would be a column from our customers table. Doesn't matter though, you can still get results just the same. All right. Okay, so that is what's going on there. So if you see a select 1 inside of a subquery in regards to an exists keyword, now you know that it's not really doing anything particular with that 1. It's not something weird. It's just purely a placeholder, honestly. So you can just keep going about your business. No need to fear, right? Okay, third point I want to go over today is this not exists keyword. Okay, so let's get rid of what we have here. And yep. So say we wanted to do something different than what we did before. Before we wanted to see all customers that have ever made a payment. What if we want to see the opposite? What if we want to see all customers who have never made a payment? Okay, so this is actually going to start out very similar. Or select star from customers, see where exists was how we did the last one. In this case, simply enough, you say where not exists. All right. And then inside, we'll say select star or 1, we'll do 1 this time, from payments P, where P dot customer number equals C dot customer number. All right, so literally the only difference, well, we did change this from a star to a 1 just because we can now that we know. And then we also added this not keyword right there. So what it's saying is this here would grab all of the cases where there's a matching payment for the customer number in the customers table. We want to grab all the customers who don't have that match, essentially. So when we run this, I can't remember if there are any. Oh, looks like there are. Slackers. Okay, so these are customers who have never made a payment before. And they need to get on that train so our company can be making some money, right? All right, so that's simply how it goes. So with the exist keyword, you're looking all who have done something. With the not exist, you're looking for everything that has not ever done something. Okay, so with the not exist, there's another way, besides that simple way I just went over, that can be very useful. And so what that is sometimes, well, actually a lot of times, you're going to have a relationship between two tables that's a one-to-many. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at it here. Customers and payments. There's one customer. One customer can have one payment. Is that true? Well, it is true. But can a customer have multiple payments? Yes, that's also true. Can a payment be made by more than one customer? No. Payment's going to be made just by one customer. Okay, so what that means is between customers and payments, it's a one-to-many relationship is how it's referred to. So when you have a one-to-many relationship and you're trying to see, like, for example, what customers meet a certain criteria in regards to their payments, then this is where the not exist keyword can be very useful. Say, for example, we want to find customers who have never made a payment less than $40,000. Okay, so I think it's the instinct of most people, if they haven't dealt with this before, but they're going to say, well, select star from customers where, from customers, join payments, p dot customer number equals c dot customer number, where p dot amount is who have never made a payment less than 40,000. So where it's greater than 40,000, right? Or I guess I should say greater than or equal to 40,000. So they say, okay, well, if I grab all customers who have made payments greater than 40,000, then that should be correct. But the problem with this is that it's possible, since it's a one-to-many relationship, remember, it's possible that you've got people in the set here who have made payments that are $40,000 or more, but they've also made other payments that are less than $40,000, which is not what we want. We want customers who have never made a payment less than $40,000. Okay, but this query would not give us that right result. Now, if they had only ever made payments 40,000 or more, then yes, they would be returning the set. That part would be correct. But if they had ever made payments below 40,000 as well as the ones they made above 40,000, then they would show up here, which would be incorrect. The way you want to handle this is actually with a where not exists. Okay, so it's going to sort of turn out to be this thing that sort of looks like a double negative, sort of blow your minds, right? Which is fun. Okay, so it'll be where not exists. And then, so we want to find all the customers who have never had a payment. And of course, we've got to link these two together first. So we need this, not that, where p dot customer number equals c dot customer number and p dot amount is less than 40,000. Okay, so this is, yeah, once again, it's sort of like a double negative here. Let me explain it. So we want to find all customers who have never had a payment that was less than 40,000. Okay, so if you've never had a payment less than 40,000, that would be the same thing as having all your payments be 40,000 or more. Okay, and this is how you would write it out. You wouldn't approach the greater than or equal to 40,000 route. You actually do the opposite. You'd say where there doesn't exist something that isn't what I want. All right, your brain hurt yet? Hopefully so. So let's hit execute here. Oh, looks like I'm missing something. Payment p dot amount less than 40,000. Payments. Okay, there we go. So this is a list of customers who have never made a payment under 40,000, or rather whose where all of their payments are 40,000 and above. Okay, so this is a very handy one. Remember, as we had said here, that this is used in a one-to-many relationship, used to not exist when finding a certain match on the many side. The many side in this case being our payments table. All right, let's see if there are any other questions. Doesn't look like it. Hopefully that made sense for you all. It definitely took me a little bit of time to wrap my brain around all of this because it's a bit with the whole double negative thing here. Okay, but go ahead and look at this example. There's a lot of cases where you could use this type of thing, right? Let's do one more example here of the not exists in a one-to-many relationship. Okay, so let's look at products, order details, and yeah, so let's find products that have only had order quantities below 40. Okay, so quantity ordered is the order quantity in each order, and there's that order detail row for each product inside of an order. Okay, so we got this one-to-many relationship here. So we want to display the product name. Oops. From products. Let's just run this, make sure we get some lovely product names. And we do. Okay, now we want to say, to do our double negative, right? We only want ones that have had order quantities below, only had order quantities below 40. So what we want to do is we want to find all products that have never had an order quantity of 40 or more. And that'll get the set that we want. So where not exists, select one from order details, OD. P there. Where OD dot, what is the link here? Order number, no, product code. Product code is linking these. Product code equals P dot product code and OD dot quantity ordered greater than or equal to 40. Okay, so once again, in order to find the products that have only ever been ordered in quantities below 40, we need to find all the products that have never been ordered 40 or more times. Let's run it. And I'm missing something. I forgot my S once again. And there we go. Okay, it's actually just one example here. It's Toyota Supra. In this case, I think this product has actually never been ordered. So that might not fit exactly what we're looking for. But let's do something else like that. Okay, so this would be ones that have only ever been ordered in quantities below 100 each order. And those are those products. Okay. And there you go. And by the way, if you want to, before when we were doing the 40 here, we're only getting one, and that was one that had never actually been ordered before. If you want to eliminate that out of your set, it seems sort of weird, but you actually will join in the order details table here. And then when you join that, and then you also have it in your where not exists. That way, it will only return sets that actually have at least been ordered once. Okay, so that's about it for today here. Let me see if there's any other questions. It doesn't look like it here. So today we went over the exist keyword and we compared it to join. We see that exist is more efficient, assuming that you don't actually need to pull data from the second table. Okay, and it's a true-false indicator. You can, in your subquery, you can use select one star or any column name. It really doesn't matter. And then lastly, we use a not exists, which finds whenever something has never been done in relation to another table. And then it's also very useful in this one-to-many relationship type of situation where you're finding a certain match on the many side. And so you're going to sort of use this double negative of where it's never happened, where the thing that we don't want has never happened before. So that's what we're doing and then not exists. Okay, once again, if you want this to have a copy of for yourself, go ahead, right click, click Save Image As, and then save that beautiful worksheet right there. And that'll be that. Last thing I want to talk about today, as always, is if you haven't already taken a look, I'll invite you to, on the same page, you can click on this link here. It'll take you to it. Click this link here about the Ultimate SQL Querying Package. Okay, this is our one-stop shop course for getting everything you might want. Oh, there's my lovely face. The one-stop shop for all of your SQL needs, taking from a beginner in your SQL skills all the way up to being very, very proficient with querying all sorts of data. We've had multiple people that we've worked with who have been able to either get a promotion or get jobs coming from non-technical roles even through using what's in this program. And let me give you a little sneak peek here of it, the inside. Okay, so it's got 50 plus modules. There's 60, 70 plus video modules as well that will guide you through the various clauses and the various things within SQL. And there's my voice again talking about it. Not only do we have these video modules, but most importantly, we have a lot of practice. We've got over, I think on our site now, we've got over 250, 260 different query challenges for you to go through. These are a lot like the daily challenges that you might be familiar with on our site. And they show you how to solve the issues, the various problems. You can even see previous queries that you've attempted, so you can sort of see progression through things. You've got your hint, you got your correct results, and you can even have your answer if you want to cheat, or if you're just confirming. We'll put it that way. Okay, and so we've got this for all of these various modules, going through all your different clauses, your aggregate functions, group bys, which is a clause again, your primary keys, foreign keys, all your various types of joins, inner and outer joins, and then of course your many different types of subqueries. Also, within the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be adding in a new module going over window functions, okay, which are using those CTEs that one of you mentioned, and that we'll also be using those window functions, which are really helpful if you are in some type of role where you're having to do a lot of analysis on the data, okay? Not just pulling the data, but also analysis too. Okay, so I'd encourage you to check out that link. All you gotta do, once again, is click on that lovely box there right here, and then you can take a look, see if it's a fit for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. One last thing I forgot to mention with that is that if you get that course, then it also comes with 6 months of unlimited email support, whether it's stuff within the course or stuff outside of the course that falls within what the course talks about. Then we would love to help you with that and really get you to the point where if you don't have a job, you get a job, or if you do have a job, that you are fully proficient with what it is you need to do. And that's the course that I wish I'd had when I first started out in SQL. I've written about it before, but I think to gain all the skills in that course, it took me at least 2 years, just sort of on the job, figuring this or that out. If I had had that course, if I was studying it the way that I used to study back when I was in college, I could have had all that information within a month, easily. Okay, so go ahead and check it out. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to let us know if you have any other questions, and also let us know of any future topics you'd like us to address as well in these webinars that we're doing here. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.